In this video, we're going to discuss the fog behavior, and I'm going to put on a little concert for you. Enjoy. And now, welcome to the stage, Maxwell Rose! Alright, that's enough of that. Alright, so let me show you how that was done. So this was actually a little bit more difficult than I expected, and I think it's because it's the interplay between the weather effects and the behavior. They really kind of go hand in hand. So we're going to start with weather effects. So you can see here I'm tabbed onto the weather effects right up here. And here we have our fog range, fog opacity, fog color. I did purple just for kind of a, haze effect. You can do whatever color you want. But the fog range is going to be about the distance of the fog. So in other words, how close is it to you and how far away can you see it from you? So the smaller the number, the closer it is. So if you wanted it to be foggy all around you and just around you, you would bring this in, dial this back to a lower number on the far end. Or if you wanted it to be more in the distance, so you wanted to be out in the periphery in the background, then you would bring that out to a higher range. And then that way it would be further away from you. There'd be kind of an area around you that's clear. Your fog opacity is how thick is it. So obviously the higher the number, the thicker it's going to be. 75 you saw was pretty thick. You could kind of see through it close enough, but it was enough to blank out the crowd in the initial, in the beginning of the video. So that's the fog effect, the weather. That is how it is normally. When the game starts, that's immediately how it's going to be. But what you'll find, and this threw me for a loop at first, and it wasn't until Necrom explained it to me, that when the fog rolls in, when we see the behavior come in, it's coming from the edge of the map. So in other words, it's going to start, let's say we have a 1 kilometer map. It's going to start 1 kilometer away from you, or at least it's going to start from the edge. And if you're in the middle, then it'll be, I guess it'd be half a kilometer in either direction, right? And it's going to come in at the speed that you set it for. So let's take a look at the behavior. You'll see what I mean. So you have a prompt text. That's just, when you trigger this, what is, does it say anything? In my case, I chose not to give it any kind of prompt text. And then the fog speed is what I was talking about before. So it's coming in at a speed of 50. Let's just take a look and see how fast that is. So I'm just going to start the level again. You can see there's no fog right away. And then if we wait for a few seconds, it's rolling in, and there it is. So now it's close, and that's going to be that range that we can see in and how far away we can see. All right. So back to the behavior. So we have the fog speed. How fast is it rolling? The higher the number, the faster it's going to roll in. If you wanted it to be really quick, then you could put it at a higher number. In the range, it goes up to 100, but you could just dial and you could type in like 300 if you really wanted to go super fast. The problem that I found is that just because it rolls in really fast doesn't mean it's going to roll out the same speed. So let me show you. Well, actually, just go back and look at when I kind of stepped into this zone here and triggered the fade out. It went away like super quick, and so it's not. It's the fog out does not correlate to the fog speed coming in, if that makes sense. All right, so we have our fog nearest and fog distance. So this is the range indicator that we saw in the weather tab. And we're really just changing it from whatever it is by default to what we want it to be when we trigger it. And it does have to be triggered. That's really important. So if we look at the behaviors here, you can see that I'm starting out over here. I'm rolling in the fog immediately. So that's the first thing I'm doing so that it, can come in. And then the only other thing I did was I turned off the HUD. There's a behavior on one of these that turns off the HUD. Let's see. No HUD. It's self-explanatory. You just, no HUD. You could also do Control H, I think it is, and that'll turn off the HUD as well. That started everything. Once I was happy with the scene, I started the video. You saw me come into the music zone and start playing the little concert. Came up on stage, and then when I was ready, then I kind of just sidestepped a little bit over into this zone, and that one is logic linked off. So we're just activating it, rolling it in, and deactivating it, rolling it out. But you want it set up on some sort of, setting object, something in the scene, and then logic linked. You can use a switch technically. I can't imagine like what scenario you might use a switch to roll in fog, but technically you could do that too. But the trigger zone worked really well for this. And you can also do multi-trigger, right? So bear that in mind as well. If we wanted to, we could, I could have just used one zone and one trigger and set it to multi, and then if I step into it, it's going to fade it in. Then I step into it a second time, it would fade out. I just wanted to set that up to be a little smoother this way. Hope that was interesting to you. This came as a request from a previous video, so I wanted to get this out quickly to answer that question. If you have a request on a particular behavior that's troubling you, by all means, leave it in the comments here or anywhere else. I'd be happy to respond back to you as quickly as I can and get that done for you. If you liked the video or if you learned anything new, I would appreciate a like. If you're new here or if you just haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to do so. We're really trying to grow the channel. By growing the channel, we are growing Max, we're growing the community, and we're bringing more people's attention to the software. So every little bit helps. Please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And lastly, if you'd like a notification for when I post new videos, just click the bell icon. That'll send a notification to your YouTube browser whenever new videos are available. But that's it. Thanks so much for your time and for watching all the way through. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.